Three myths about a buyer-broker agreement in the state of Oklahoma. Listen, real estate has changed. And if you're a buyer, you now need a buyer-broker agreement before you can write a contract on a property. And I want to talk about three misconceptions. So one of them is that if you're a buyer, you now have to pay your buyer's agent directly, okay? And you're thinking, well, shoot, I don't want to pull that cash out of my bank, or maybe I don't have that kind of cash in my bank to pay a buyer's agent. Therefore, I just can't be represented and protected by a buyer's agent. That is not true. That is a myth, okay? So the buyer broker agreement will explain how much a buyer agent is going to charge. But you have the option as the buyer, when you turn in an offer to a seller, to request that the seller pays your buyer agent. And so when you turn in that offer, you can make that a part of your deal. I'm not buying this house unless this piece is taken care of. That way, you personally don't have to go pull money out of your bank account to pay for that buyer agent. Myth number 2, you can't go see a house without a buyer-broker agreement. This one is a partial truth, okay? There is a new rule in place across the nation that if you're working with an agent, you cannot go see a property without an agreement. It's a written agreement, but it does not have to be a buyer-broker agreement. And a lot of times people think of a buyer-broker agreement as this like super long-term, I have to be committed to this person. You actually can sign different types of documents as long as they have specific criteria that we're required to cover whenever we're doing a property. So there's actually like 1 day showing requests, 1 week showing agreements where it's just like, hey, I'll let you in this house. I'll let you see this property. We don't have to do a buyer broker agreement yet. When we get serious about it, then we'll talk about the buyer broker agreement. That is an option. So ask your agent about that. Myth number 3 about the buyer-broker agreement is it's this super long-term thing you can't get out of unless the other person totally agrees. That is how it used to be in the state of Oklahoma. It was a mutual release, which means the buyer and the agent both had to agree to part ways. The new buyer-broker agreement that came out just now in Oklahoma, it's fantastic. It can be canceled by just one party, either the buyer or the agent. And so all you have to do, if you're not happy with your agent, you can send a written notice of cancellation. Just let them know, hey, it's not working out. We're done. 3 business days later, that thing, poof, it vanishes. It's gone. There are some details in there that, like, if they showed you a property, if the buyer agent showed you a property already, or if they brought it to you, that you are still going to be working with them. If you're under contract, you're going to stay with them. But basically, if you feel like it's not working out, no problem. Send a cancellation. You can get out of it, find another agent that you click well with, and be represented to make sure you're protected throughout your purchase.